What's up, everyone? This is James Quilty, and welcome to my Product Selling Secrets Bootcamp. So this 5-part course is going to show you how to sell your network marketing products without having to rely on family and friends, without having to have uncomfortable conversations with strangers in the supermarket or the coffee shop line. And it's also going to show you how you can do it without going into debt, and to make sure that you stay profitable while you're doing that. So just a little backstory on why or how I came about creating this course. So a few years ago, my wife and I, we started our own fitness training business. And when we did that, we were introduced to a network marketing company that sold supplements. Okay, and we were both been taking supplements. At that time, we both believed in supplements. I had a really phenomenal transformation. After going through a really bad divorce and getting really out of shape, I entered a 12-week body transformation challenge. And it was, through, the proper training, proper nutrition, and also strategic supplementation that I was able to not only get the weight off, but I got into the best shape that I've ever been. I got down to 7.2% body fat. I lost about 15 pounds of fat and gained about 10 pounds of lean muscle. And from that point, since I got such drastic results, I had a lot of people asking me, "Hey, so what are you doing? How are you doing that?" And it just naturally wanting to help other people. I eventually took that passion. I wanted to help people, and I wanted to start a business around that. And so supplements and training has always been a part of my life. And then I met my current wife, and she had been training for quite some time, and she had been doing the same thing. So it just seemed like a natural fit. To be able to not only offer quality supplements to our clients, in addition to the nutrition and the training components that we were providing for them, but it also make a little bit of commission as well. So we were with that particular company for about 10 years, and after about 5 years of running our fitness business, my wife and I, we'd already had 2 children. We wanted to take a step back from being business owners, from a brick and mortar business, because we wanted to spend a little bit more time with our two daughters at the time. And so we were living in Florida. We made the decision that we were going to move to Texas, which is where my wife's family is from, because we wanted to be closer to family. We didn't want to have the situation where I was growing up, as well as my wife, where our family or our grandparents were not very close by, and so we only got to see them on holidays. We didn't want that. We wanted that family experience. We wanted our girls to grow up, and to be closer to family, being able to go over and visit Nana and Papa, being able to see them not only on holidays, but also Sunday afternoons, and having lunch and dinner, and just to have a little bit more involvement with our extended family, besides just me and my wife. And so we moved to Florida. We sold that business, but we still had our network marketing business, and we had built that up to a point where it was generating about $3,000 to $4,000 worth of revenue for us. Well, something happened that was completely unexpected. And what happened was that the company that we were a part of were going through some legal issues, unbeknownst to us. And then they end up sending us a email to all the business owners at that time, and said that they were changing their compensation structure, meaning they were no longer going to be offering multi-tiered compensation, meaning that you were not going to be getting any residual income off of your business partners and their downline. It was strictly going to be a commission based program, and they were going to be doing that effective immediately. And a lot of that came about because of the legal issues that they were having. They had a class action lawsuit that was sent against them, and instead of having this long drawn out court battle, having their reputation, tarnished, by, having all that negative press, they decided to comply with the requirements that the FTC had laid down for them, and so they stopped with that multi level compensation, and so it was strictly an affiliate program, which means that you'd only got paid off of the commission of products that you sold, and that was it, right? And so what happened was my wife and I, as well as there was like 100,000 distributors at that time. Our income was just pretty much went from you're doing very well to zero, and there was high level leaders that were affected by that. And maybe this has happened to you, maybe not, but this is just a reality of the business that we're in. We do not own any assets of the company that we are promoting. You know what? The company is the one that has the copyrights. The company is the one that owns, all of the logos and the names. They own all the products. They have the distribution channel. They're the ones that have the infrastructure to produce those products. And so they also own all of the customers that or the business partners that we have sent to our microsite that actually signed up under. They have that database. We don't own that database. We may think that we do, but we really don't. The company does, and the company can take that away at any time. The company can change, their policies at any time, and there's nothing that you can do about it. You can, be doing everything correctly, but if you happen to not completely comply with their company policies, they could terminate your agreement and take everything away, and there's not a darn thing that you can do about it. And so this is what happened to us. And so we had some income that was coming in that was supporting us, and then all of a sudden overnight it was gone. What are you going to do? And so from that, what I realized is that there's got to be another way to build a business to make sure that we protect ourselves from being put in a position of having to start all over again, from being put into a position of having some substantial income and then having that all taken away. And so that set me on a journey to figure out, well, how would I build this business? And so that led me to coming up and studying a lot of marketers, seeing what marketers were doing, not only in the network marketing industry, but then what people were doing outside of that industry as well, who were having some phenomenal success. And what I came up with was a simple framework, a pattern that I had seen over and over again from top level marketers in the network marketing industry, as well as outside of that industry as well. And so I put it together into this course to share with you, because at the end of the day, here's the deal. I think that everyone that wants to start off as an entrepreneur, I think they should start off in the network marketing industry. I think it's a phenomenal a business model, and it's a great way for you to actually hone your skills, because there are some skills that you need to develop and master if you want to be successful, not only in network marketing, but just as an entrepreneur in general. And one of the great things about the network marketing industry is that you don't own any of those distribution channels. You don't have to come up with the infrastructure. You don't have to pay staff. You don't have to have legal teams. You don't have to come up with any of that stuff. You just have to be able to take the products that they have and be able to acquire customers, move it into the marketplace for a profit, and to continue to do that with in a systematized manner, and then being able to bring on business partners and then give them that same system so they can duplicate your success. Does that make any sense? So what I had come up with and what we're going to go over in this course is that simple framework. And that first that first part of that system is what I like to call the secret formula. Now, I didn't come up with this. I actually you learn this from Russell Brunson, who is the CEO and founder or co-founder of ClickFunnels, which is a marketing platform that allows you to build websites, membership sites, sales funnels, and opt-in pages to acquire information and customers you build a database, and then being able to take them through a very simple process of what your sales process is, getting them to the end result, which is the product or the service that you're selling. So anyway, so the secret formula that Russell shared, which I wish I would have known this when I first started off in the network marketing industry, because when I first got involved, I was told by my upline, well, I'm sure that you have as well, as, listen, you need to come up with a list of resources. Take all the people that are in your phone, right? Write them down, and what we're going to do is I want you to call each and every one of those people, and what I want you to tell them is, hey, Joe, hey, Sally, listen, I'm really excited. I just want to know if I could share something with you, if you have a few minutes. Oh yeah, sure. Well, what's going on? Hey, I just started this new business, and what I would like to do is I want to know if you could do me a big favor. Sure. What do you need? Well, what I want to do is I want to test out some of the products that we have for this business. We want to make sure that this is something that is going to catch on, or something that is actually viable in the marketplace. But before we invest a lot of our time and effort, we wanted to kind of call on some of our friends within our sphere of influence to kind of do like a little test market, test it out, and for you to give us your honest opinion on what you think about it before we actually go full head on into this business venture. Would you be able to do that? Oh yeah, sure. Okay, awesome. What I would like to do is I'd like to actually get you on to a phone call with one of my business partners who could kind of walk you through the process, since we're just starting out. We really don't know that much about it, but he or she is like the expert. Do you have like a few minutes? Oh yeah, sure. You get them on the phone, right? Going through all of our warm contacts, trying to get them to be a part of our business, right? And that's the usual for The problem with that is that what we're doing is that we're interrupting people's lives who for all intents and purposes had no intentions of buying a product, had no intentions of investing in a business, were happy going along in their daily routine, and until we came in like a wrecking ball, or like a bull in a china shop, trying to upsell them or hard sell them on buying this product, or taking this supplement, this potion, this lotion, this powder, or you're trying to get them to invest in a business opportunity, because everybody needs money, right? You ever heard that before? And so obviously we didn't have a whole lot of success. And when I did that, this is what kind of made me pull back and kind of think there's something that's not right about this process. I was actually one of the people that were on my list was my sister. She had some weight that she needed to lose, and she had mentioned a lot of time that she wished that I lived closer, because my family, I was living in Florida when I at the time. With my wife, my family was living in they live in California. That's where I'm from. And so she was always, when we would talk, I wish you would be closer. I'd love you to train me. I really need to to lose this baby weight. She had 3 kids at that time, and she hadn't lost any of the weight that she had gained from her first child, let alone from the second and third. And so she had always mentioned gosh, I wish you were here to help me because I just can't seem to do it on my own. So when we started this network marketing venture, I was like, hey, this would be a perfect person to call. So I called her, did the pitch, got her on the 3-way phone call with my upline, and here was where things took a turn for the worst, which was, and there's a point to all this, so just bear with me. So we get on the phone, and my upline is going through his script. My sister is just not really not into it, really doesn't want to commit to anything, wasn't planning on buying anything. She just wanted to look for some information, and he was trying to hard close her. And then and my sister's the type of person like, listen, you're not going to force her to do anything. And if she does not want to do it, there is no way in God's green earth, short of Jesus coming down and and snapping his fingers and forcing her to do it, is she going to comply unless it's her idea. And so this was the situation. She didn't want to have anything to do with it. So we end up finally getting off the phone. Immediately after I had hung up the phone on that 3-way phone call, my phone starts ringing. and I pick it up, and it's my mother. And my mother, gets on the phone and is yelling at me, because my sister, immediately called her after we had gotten off the phone, and was just basically going on and on about, I can't believe, Jimmy had got me onto this phone, and this guy, was trying to, get me to buy this stuff, and he wouldn't, you let me alone, and he kept trying to make me, feel, bad, that I wasn't going to make a decision, and that's just, listen, I don't know what he's involved with, but I don't really appreciate that. She's telling this to my mom, and so my mom calls me, and she starts chewing me out, like, listen, I don't know what's going on, but you don't have somebody call up and make your sister feel uncomfortable like that. You need to respect your sister, and you need to also understand that whatever you're doing, if she's not interested, stop trying to force her to do that, or get other people to force her to do something that she's not willing to do. And I was like, whoa, right? And that was a big eye opener for me, because I was like, luckily, my family had forgiven me, and they're still talking to me. I'm sure that you have had a lot of bridges that have been burnt, and maybe some relationships that have not been mended because of that type of approach. But what I had realized was I was going after people that, like I said before, had no intention of buying or purchasing anything. Right? I was just, going and talking to anybody and anybody that I could that was in my database, right? Well, after that, like I said, I started, and then when the company had, changed, I started looking for, a different and more effective way of building a business, because I didn't want to have to go through that, again. And when I stumbled upon, this secret formula that Russell Brunson, talks about, it really kind of opened up my eyes. And what I had realized is that one of the biggest issues with network marketers is that they go after everybody, instead of going after the people that are actually looking for what they have to offer, right? And so the secret formula is, it's 4 parts, right? And I'm going to go ahead and look at my notes, okay? But the first part is the who. All right. So if you look at successful business owners and successful entrepreneurs, they just don't get a product and just start trying to shove it down the throat of everybody. What they actually do is they are looking, and they have a specific target market, or they have a specific ideal client that they want to work with. All right. And they really narrow down on who that person is. It's because when you have a specific customer, an ideal person, then you basically are attracting that person, and you are repelling all those other people that are not very interested, or people that you don't really want to work with. And so it takes the burden of off of your shoulders of trying to pitch just hundreds of people, or that whole 3-foot rule, or just picking up the phone and dialing, hoping to get somebody to bite. Right? You're a lot more laser focused, because we all know that focus light is a lot more effective and a lot more damaging than diffuse light. Am I right? You kind of you catch when I'm laying down, right? So the first part of that secret formula is who. Who do you want to serve? Who is that your ideal client? And then once you've decided on that, then the next step is, well, where are those people hanging out? Now, before, back in the day, it was really difficult on trying to figure out, where your ideal, client was. But now, with the internet, with Google, with search engines, with social media, with Facebook, with Instagram, it's really easy to kind of target and to hone in on where your ideal client is, right? And so, and if you want, it's really simple. Just go to Google, or go to any search engine if you want, and then type in your ideal, client. And then you're going to have a whole list of blogs and places where these people are hanging out, and content that they're actually consuming, right? So the first part is, who do you want to serve? The second part is, where do they hang out? Now the third part is the bait, right? And when I say bait, is there has to be something that you can provide, or something that you can create to attract your ideal client to you, to get them to pay attention to you. Because the name of the game nowadays is who can get the most attention, right? And usually that's like through like a free PDF checklist, or some sort of series or boot camp, just like I'm putting together right now for all of you, attracting my ideal clients. in the in the network marketing industry. But you got to put something out there. You have to create something that is going to attract your ideal client, to get them to give you their attention, right? And then the last part of that secret formula is, what is the result that you want to get for them? Because ultimately, when it comes down to it, your ideal client can care less about your product. They can care less about your business opportunity. What they are only focused in on is solving their issues or their problems, right? So what is the result that you are going to get from them? And part of that process is, getting them the result is where you're going to be bringing in your product or service, right? Because that's going to be part of the process. Does that make any sense? So for instance, if my ideal client is, let's just say, stay-at-home moms, right, who want to lose that excess baby weight, kind of like my sister, right? And something that I can use to gain their attention would be the top 3 exercises that you can do after your doctor releases you from, or after the doctor says that it's okay for you to exercise after you've had your first child, to get you to lose 2 inches off of your stomach. Right? Okay, that would be something that would be very attractive to my ideal client. Now, once I gain their attention, right, and they start consuming the content that I put out there, guess what? Now, what's part of the process of getting them to lose those 2 inches, getting them to get off that or to shed that baby weight? Well, I am going to suggest, or I'm going to put in front of them my product or service, right, that I have. And so that is how you are going to not only streamline the process, but that is how you are going to end up looking like an expert and not like some Jimboni who is just trying to call up their friends and family, going through a bunch of lead lists, or talking to people, striking up conversations, saying, oh well, hey, you keeping your options open? Right? All of us have done that. So the top marketers, what they do is they utilize this secret formula. They know who their ideal client is. They know where they're hanging out with, because that's where they're going to be putting their advertisements. They know the specific type of information that is going to attract them, that is going to give them their attention, and then they know the result that they want, their ideal client wants, and they use their product or service to actually get them their result. And that is how they're actually to move tremendous amount of product into the marketplace without having to utilize family and friends. Does that make any sense? So anyway, that's all I have. And I know it's been a little bit long, but that is the first part of this product selling secrets of this framework. And so what I'm going to do is in the next the next module, I'm going to share a concept that I actually learned from a top marketer that in the network marketing industry. He actually went from waiting tables to making 6 or 7 figures, as a matter of fact, in a little 18 months. And he did that through this concept that I'm going to share with you in the next module. So that's all that I have for you for today. I hope you got a lot of value out of this. I know that this may be some new concepts, or maybe you've heard this before. But what I recommend is that you go back and you listen to this again and write down those 4 steps of that secret formula, and really start thinking through. Okay, how can I build? Because that is going to give you the foundation of your business. I'm going to end with this. When I was when I had my training business, and I had clients that are coming to me, I always used to tell them, I said, look, you can either have easy or you can have effective getting to your results, but you can't have both. Right? And the same thing applies here. You can have easy, and that's why so many of our uplines in this industry, they're always telling us, go pick up your contacts. Make a list of your family and friends and get them onto a three-way call with me, because that's easy, but that is not very effective. What is effective is taking that secret formula, taking the time to think through, who is it I want to serve? Who's my ideal client? Where are they hanging out? What can I put in front of them to gain their attention? And what is the ultimate result that they want, that I could put my product or service in front of them that they could actually purchase to get them that result. It takes a little bit, but that is a more effective route. and that is going to place you in the eyes of your customers as a trusted expert and also as a professional, and not an amateur who's just running around trying to peddle your potions, lotions, and powders. Does that make any sense? So that's all I have for you today. And in the next module, we're going to show you that concept that is really going to help to explode your product selling the product sales of your business. So I look forward to seeing you in the next module. Bye-bye.